We have several awards to give out, class readings that we need to take care of. We'll start off, first of all, with some college representatives to make awards. The representative from USA will please come up.
And congratulations to the Minco seniors from the University of Science and Arts of Oklahoma. I'm happy to be here today, and every year the university gives away hundreds of thousands of scholarship monies to incoming freshmen. This year we have 2 Minco High School students who have applied and been accepted by our scholarship committee. The first one will go to Michael McDaniel. Michael is receiving an academic scholarship that is worth $2,055. It pays for his first and third trimester tuition and his housing for the first, second, and third trimester. This year the university has initiated a new scholarship that is called the Presidential Leadership Council Scholarship. It is our most prestigious scholarship, and we had approximately 75-80 candidates for this, and we're only selecting 10, 5 young men and 5 young ladies. This year, a young lady out of the Minco senior class is one of those recipients, and she went through several processes to get to that point. She went through several committee meetings, her application did, through the administration, through the faculty, and through the scholarship committee. Then she had to go through a personal interview with several of our administrators on campus. This scholarship is a 4-year tuition and housing scholarship. Each year it is worth, at this point it is worth $2,621 for this first year. That pays for her housing and tuition the first, second, and third trimester. Over the 4-year period, it can be well worth over $10,000. This young lady was rated on her GPA, her ACT, her radiant personality, and her academic and social attributes in high school. We hope that she will be, we know she will be a great asset to our university this coming fall, and we look forward to having Megan Locke on campus this fall. Thank you again, and I appreciate you letting me attend.
This time we have a representative from Redland Junior College in El Reno.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Redlands Community College, today I'm proud to present the following scholarships. We have a Redlands Scholarship worth $500 for Leah Reed, a Redlands Scholarship worth $500 for Shayla Gibson, and a Scholastic Team Scholarship for Mike Dobson worth $500. And a Math and Science Scholarship worth $500 for John McDaniel.
Thank you very much, and congratulations to those students. That's an outstanding job. Representative from the United States Army Reserve, you come up, please.
Congratulations to the graduating class 1992. Every year, the United States Army Army Reserve gives the coaches, teachers, faculty, and staff a chance to get together and pick the student, male and female, who has not only excelled in the field of academics, but also the field of athletics. And this year's recipients will be Lindsay Treadway,
Masonic Lodge has awards to present. If they will come forward at this time to present those awards.
These certificates of Student of the Day Award are put out by through the Untitled Lodge 405, and the most worshipful Grand Lodge of ancient, free, and accepted Masons of the state of Oklahoma, through recognition of student applications and outstanding attainment. The Masonic Grand Lodge of Oklahoma and the Masons of this community are pleased to present this award. And the first one goes to Michael McDaniel. And the second one goes to the Student of Today Award to Leah Reed. The last one is a Teacher of Today Award from the Most Worshipful Grand Lodge of Ancient, Free, and Accepted Masons of the state of Oklahoma in appreciation and recognition of merit service to children and youth, the citizens of tomorrow. In this public school of our state and country, the award is made by this Masonic Grand Lodge of Oklahoma and the Masons of this community from Untitled Lodge number 405 is to Karen Dillsaber.
I have several other awards to bestow upon some of our seniors for to represent institutions that could not be here. First of all, I have from the state of Oklahoma 2 legislative citations to Lindsay Treadway and Brett Brazil as valedictorian and salutatorian. Let me read these to you. It says, it says the same for both. I'll add both of their names in there. Whereas Brett Brazil and Lindsay Treadway have been named salutatorian and valedictorian of the 1992 graduating class of Minco Senior High School, and whereas this is an honor which has been earned by hard work, dedication, and sacrifice, and whereas by this exemplary scholastic record, Brett Brazil and Lindsay Treadway have brought pride and honor to his or her school, family, community, and the great state of Oklahoma, and whereas inasmuch as students like Brett Brazil and Lindsay Treadway are the future of our state, the Oklahoma House of Representatives takes great pride in recognizing those who have excelled in this state's classroom. Congratulations, Brett and Lindsay. a month or two ago, I believe in March, at Southwestern Oklahoma State University, the swim meet. We had two young ladies who did an outstanding job. First certificate of achievement is hereby awarded. This certificate as winner of first place in Spanish, a native speaker, to Carmina Vergara. Are you here? Also from Southwestern Oklahoma State University, the certificate of achievement is awarded as winner first place in German by a native speaker, Bettina Wunderlich. Come up, please. Where are you, Bettina? There she is. From Northwestern Oklahoma State University in Alba, Oklahoma, I have two scholarship awards to make, one in the amount of $300 and one in the amount of $400 for a total of $700, which will be awarded to Amanda Williams. Amanda, would you come up, please? Before I award some other scholarship winners, I'd like to award the President's Academic Fitness Achievement. This is presented in recognition of outstanding academic achievement and meeting the standards of the President's Academic Fitness Award Program. This is done in high school by attaining an ACT score of 25 or better, and this is awarded to Brett Brazil. Congratulations, Brett. Brett, if you'll just come right back up here, please. I have two scholarship awards to make to Brett. He has won through outstanding talent and achievement from the University of Central Oklahoma at Edmond scholarship for tuition in the amount of $1,000 if he still chooses to use. And also to Brett, awarded from Southwestern Oklahoma State University scholarships in the amount of $1,200. Congratulations, Brett. Lindsay Treadaway would come up. I have two scholarship awards to make to Lindsay. I have a scholarship award in the amount of $850 from the University of Oklahoma. Congratulations, Lindsay. And from the Southwestern Oklahoma State University in Weatherford, scholarship in the amount of $1,200. Congratulations. Mr. Walters, if you could come up and help me, I have some books to be awarded to the senior class. These are awarded or given to each senior from the Bank of Union. These are entitled, After the Tassel Has Moved, Guidelines for High School Graduates. And they may not have thought a great deal about this yet, but a lot of changes are about to become made in their lives. I believe, as I have read through these books, that there's some information in here that they will find to be very useful as they continue on. Brett Brazil, would you come forward, please? Let's just hold our applause for all these seniors until we've introduced each one of them, all right? Travis Brewster. Letitia Brumlow. Mary DeHart. Shayla Gibson. Mike Dobson. Josh Evans. Pat Halley. Jason Hatcher. Michael Henson. Jan Humphrey. Jill Humphrey. Shannon Kierkegaard. Megan Locke. Andrew Lopez. Michael McDaniel. Brian Miller. Nikki Morse. Cassie Myers. Leah Reed. Tamara Reynolds. Shannon Richardson. Tamara Shoemaker. Dorothy Smith. Lindsay Treadaway. Carmina Vergara. Amanda Williams. Give all these seniors around this house. Seems as though at this time the seniors have made the supreme sacrifice to think ahead in the future, being students of great vision, that they have prophesied what they see through their crystal balls to be happening to this class in the future. Jan Humphrey, if you would read this and tell these other students what you see is going to be happening.
It is the year 2000, 2,920 days after we have left here today. I have decided to take a trip back to Minco to update myself on what all my former classmates had gotten into. My first prerogative was to visit my old school and see how it had changed. I walked into the administration office to find the new co-principals, Pat Halley and Brian Miller. They had me convinced they'd done a lot to improve our old school, like bringing in the sport of go-kart racing and declaring the do-rag part of official school uniform. I walked out of the office to find the senior panel. Near the top, I recognized the picture of former track star Josh Evans. Brian informed me that Josh gave up cat throwing after high school and is now involved with animal rights issues. I also questioned Patty about the whereabouts of Letitia Bromley. I was told that she is married with 2 kids, drives a Beamer, and runs a debutante camp in southern Louisiana. I was wondering whatever happened to Andrew Lopez. Pat said he's the fireman now, making rounds all over town putting out flames. As I reached the parking lot, I saw 3 little blonde girls getting on their tricycles and hauling off campus. I stopped them only to notice they were Tamara, and Dorothy's kids. They said they were skipping kindergarten today. I asked them something. I asked them what their moms were up to. Dorothy's Miss Youngin told me her mom is now a supermodel and can be seen on the latest Pepsi commercials. Tamara Shoemaker's girl said her mom and Tim Reynolds were getting ready to kayak the Nile River. I concluded my trip to the school with a visit to the band room. I figured I'd find the band teacher so I could return the band hat I kept from 8th grade. I was surprised to find Michael McDaniel busy at work directing the fight song and designing new marching formations. Me and Michael reminisced about old times. The flip-flops he was wearing reminded me of a guy by the name of Brett Brazil. Michael said Brett is on the road with Tracy Chapman singing about world problems like violent youth, and he's packing now for a trip to Rio de Janeiro, the land of thong bikinis. Michael asked me if I had heard from Jason Hatcher. I told him last I heard he had a busy career as a professional model, owner of Lens Crafters, and title holder of Buffest Man in the World. All the excitement of being in my old hometown made me a little thirsty, so I headed for the old Dairy Boy. As I found a parking place, I noticed a jogger crossing the highway with a granola bar tightly gripped in her hand. I recognized her as my little sister Jill, who now owns her own health spa and tanning salon. I explained to Jill what I was doing, and she offered me a bite of nature and told me to get in shape. I asked her about one of my closest friends, Shanna Richardson. Jill said Shanna was now an NFL trainer. Jill had seen her on Inside Stuff commenting that she hadn't seen as many moons in the NFL locker room as she did in the high school one. Jill also commented that Amanda Williams traded her barrel racing career to be a fly girl on A Living Color. I knew my trip would not be complete without a cruise of the downtown area. I stopped at the four-way to notice a recently opened tattoo parlor. I went in to find out the owner was none other than Shannon Kierkegaard. It seems Shannon sprung for a tattoo, a rattlesnake around her toe, and now makes her business branding others. Shannon told me she recently designed a tattoo for Kathy Myers, who now owns a record service. Guess she's repaying the people who always pulled her out. Shannon also said she's tattooed the likes of Michael Henson, who is now owner of his own Harley-Davidson dealership, complete with a full line of racy t-shirts. After Shannon burned me with the tattoo of a spur, I headed down to the rodeo grounds to see Minco's famous cowboy Travis Brewster, that wild bronc rider. Travis introduced me to his newest horse, which he named Quiet. He talked about his log cabin he's building for him, his wife, and his 7 kids. I recognized Mike Johnson's sister Ruth riding her horse. She told me Mike had become an inventor, discovering such things as unbreakable glass and extension cord jumper cables. As I pulled back onto the highway, I smelled leather. I turned to see Carmina leading a pack of rebels. As they neared, I recognized Leah Reed, Lindsay Treadway, Shayla Gibson, Nikki Morris, Mary Dehart, and Megan Locke, the hot Hondas. Leah told me stories about their cruise across the USA. Nikki was expecting to be back home sooner, but said they tangled with a few hundred dune buggy enthusiasts. After chatting for a while, I decided I better head home to my mansion in the woods. After all, my new husband, Aaron Tippin, was waiting for me. Yeah, right. I was happy to find all my former classmates successful individuals, and planned on coming back in 5 years to see them again.
Well, now that we know where they're going, and without a doubt that probably is about right, they have quite quite a history also. I know most all of you have had American history and world history and Oklahoma history, and now we need to have the history of 1992. Nikki, could you come forward, please?
The time finally came for 23 anxious 5-year-olds to start their first year of school. They were Tracy Borden, Brian Bramlett, Letitia Bromlow, Christy Cannon, Josh Evans, Kevin Falkenberry, Christy Green, Pat Halley, Jason Hatcher, Michael Henson, Jan Humphrey, Jill Humphrey, Jenny Lee, Megan Locke, Michael McDaniel, Amy Rear, Shannon Richardson, Jennifer Shearer, Tamara Shoemaker, Timmy Wells, Amanda Williams, and Kimberly Beach. Mrs. Smith was the teacher this year, and certain people couldn't let others play in the kitchen area. As the years went by, we gained and lost a few. In the first grade, the teacher was Mrs. Maple, and she made us stay all day long. This year, we have gained Dana Cannon, Aaron Cantrell, Shannon Kierkegaard, and Kim Fleming. We lost Tracy Borden, Jenny Lee, Amy Rear, Jennifer Shearer, and Kim Beach. In the second grade, our teacher was Mrs. Jones. At first, we were scared to death of her, but we ended up loving her. This year, we gained Johnny Avila, Daryl Cookery, Stephanie Goff, Dorothy Smith, Kathy Penn, Cindy Selfridge, Lindsay Treadway. We lost Aaron Cantrell, Kim Fleming, and Timmy Wells. In the third grade, our teacher was Miss Hacker, who had a paddle named Charlie. This year, we gained Danny Asbill, Trina Hale, and Kim Beach. We lost Daryl Cookery and Kathy Penn. In the fourth grade, our teacher was Mrs. Simmons, who must have jinxed us because this year everybody vomited. But the worst of all was when Shannon Richardson puked barbecue wings all over the desk. This year we gained Scotty DeLena, Hanky Garrett, Cassie Myers, David Potter, Leah Reed, Timber Tarallo, and Bellamy Thornton. We lost Johnny Avila and Dan Cannon. In the fifth grade, our teacher was Mrs. Moorfield. In her class, if you got 100, you got to cut a piece of candy off the candy tree. This year, we gained Ronnie Henry, Mary D. Hart, Jonathan Webb, Darrell Gallion, and Melissa Branson. We lost Trina Hale, Cindy Selfridge, and Timber Tarallo. In the sixth grade, our teacher was Mr. Hatcher. We enjoyed our art lessons, his home videos, and our experiments with mule beavers. This year, we gained Tamara Reynolds and Rhonda Webb. We lost Pat Halley, Stephanie Goff, and Christy Green. Our seventh grade year was the first year we got to change classes, and we felt like we were walking on cloud 9. This year, we gained Dell Jackson, Brett Brazil, Brian Miller, and Nikki Morse. We lost Scotty DeLuna and Danny Hatfield. In the 8th grade, Mr. Pasco was here, and everybody put polo cologne on and wore it to class because he was allergic to it. This year we gained Deanna Brown, Andy Digg, and Carrie Morgan. We lost Hank Garrett, Ronnie Henry, David Potter, Melissa Branson, and Rhonda Webb, and Dale Gallion. In the 9th grade, we all experienced our first real party at Kim Beach's house. This year we gained Aaron Cantrell, Sarah Gibson, and Rhonda Webb. We lost Brian Bramlett, Deanna Brown, Andy Digg, and Dale Jackson. Our 10th grade year was full of games such as the Weekend Warriors, Harley Davidsons, and forever famous Hot Hondas. This year we gained Mike Dobson, Pat Halley, and Alex Lamb. We lost Brett Brazil, Jonathan Webb, and Ron Webb. Our 11th grade year must have not been a very memorable one because no one remembers it. This year we gained Glenn DeLong and Andrew Lopez. We lost Aaron Cantrell, Kevin Falkenberry, Alex Lamb, Carrie Morgan, and Kim Beach. The 1992 graduating class of Minco consists of Brett Brazil, Travis Brewster, Letitia Bromlow, Mary D. Hart, Mike Dawson, Josh Evans, Shelley Gibson, Pat Halley, Jason Hatcher, Michael Henson, Jan Humphrey, Jill Humphrey, Shannon Kierkegaard, Megan Locke, Drew Lopez, Brian Miller, Nikki Morris, Cassie Myers, Leah Reed, Cameron Reynolds, Shannon Richardson, Tamara Shoemaker, Dorothy Smith, Lindsay Treadway, Carmelina Vergara, and Amanda Williams.
Thank you, Nikki. It's always appropriate at this time to leave something of yourself behind, and the seniors have seen fit to do so, and they will several items to the students who remain behind. So, Megan, if you would bestow these upon them, please.
The senior class of 1992 wills the following. Brian Miller and Amanda Williams will their ability to get along with Mrs. Ryburn to James Fulton. Josh Evans wills his ranchero to anyone who wants it, and I don't think anyone does. Shayla wills her ability to wear scum clothes to Mandy Gossett, who dresses nice every day. Nikki wills her ability not to get hit by a foul ball to Miranda Clifton. The senior girls will a bottle of aspirin to Lauren Brownlee, who seems to need it constantly. The senior girls will their skin tone to Donna Pinkston. Megan wills her knee brace to Sherry and Shelley because every other week one of them gets hurt. Michael Henson wills his perfect attendance to Rodney Caldwell and Diana Smith. Brian Miller wills his hat size to James Fulton. The senior baseball players will Clint Wright, Jason Parks, and Chad Christian a cutting torch so they can get rid of their plows. Shannon Kierkegaard, Jan, Jill, and Cassie will their home ec skills to younger FHA members. Josh Evans wills James Fulton and Jeremy Hodges to maturity. Pat wills a donut and locker number 27 to guests. Shannon Kay wills her ability to stay with one guy to Gretchen Miller. Katamina wills her bad American attitude to Betty. Brett wills his calf muscles and his gut to Kyle Anthony. Jana Jill will antlers to Ronnie Porter. Shannon Richardson wills a heel lift to Ryan Brazil. Brett and Brian will their titles as Sam and Willie to Gus and Sean. Jill wills her hips to Darla Hensley. Cassie wills her ability to crash into Red Hill to Andrea Reichert. Tamara, and Dorothy will Darla Hensley the ability to let her date know they have a date before she tells anyone else. Megan Locke wills Clay Davis the ability to get along with the cops. Vicky wills her friendliness to Susie Keller. Tisha wills Rosanna the ability not to scream while talking. Lindsay Treadway wills her ability to get a guy 11 years older than her to anyone who wants it because she definitely doesn't want it anymore. Jason Hatcher wills his ability to stay out of trouble to Ronnie Porter. The senior basketball girls will the numbers 11, 13, 14, 22, 24, and 35 to next year's players who we hope take pride in them as we did. Brett wills his ability to grow facial hair to Philip Voss and a pair of shorts to Gus Hankey so he can keep his butt covered during lunch. Nikki, Leah, and Shayla will their ability to wave back when they are waved at to Anna Jean Chance and Jennifer Price. Mike Dodson wills the ability to keep glass from breaking to his sister's car in Drew Lopez's basketball career. The senior baseball players will James Fulton the ability to get us priorities straight. Brett Brazil wills his ability to keep his hands to himself to Darla Hensley. Tamara, and Dorothy will Shannon Parrish the ability to keep her mouth shut when people leave class early. Tamara Shoemaker wills Clay Davis the ability to speed and not get caught. Tisha wills Shauna Clark the ability not to spread rumors and keep her mouth shut. Jan Humphrey wills her band hat to Mrs. Cyrus. She's had it since she was in the 8th grade. Mike Dobson wills 1 million tardy passes to anybody who can be late and not get caught. The senior football players will James Fulton the ability not to worry about the stat sheet until the game is over. Tamara, and Dorothy will Sarah Short the ability to say a sentence without the word like in it. Brian Miller wills Ryan Brazil the biggest collection of tobacco spit ever accumulated. The seniors will these front seats to the next year's seniors, even though they never got to sit in them because the grade school was always in them. And last but not least, the senior class will the 92 freshman class the ability not to embarrass the community and themselves with their wills and remember wins.
Very useful items in there. I hope people appreciate the effort. Kind of going along, I think, with the history, remember when, and I'm a little new here, so I don't know how many of these are actually on the up and up, but if they all are, y'all have had a pretty interesting past. So, Leah, if you'd come up and go over these.
Okay, there are many remember wins, so bear with me. Remember Mr. Travis? Remember Miss Lynch? Mrs. Lynch? Remember when Rosanna wasn't telling somebody to shut up? When Shannon Paris wasn't getting hurt in basketball practice? Rhonda Bass's jump stops? The first basketball practice when there were more girls laying on their backs with their feet in the air than practicing? All Leah's black eyes? I do. When Andrea was determined to get every person running to or walking to second base out because she thought they were stealing. Pat, remember that gosh darn railroad tie? When Mary punched the girl during Deer Creek scrimmage, or during the scrimmage with Deer Creek? When Dorothy, Tamara, and Tamara made it to school every day? When Shannon Richardson gave that oral report in business class? Remember Kim Beach? Remember Hanky Garrett? Remember all those college classes at Union City? When Lindsay took her shirt off in front of Coach Cow? When Megan and Tawny took their shirts off in front of Coach Wade? Nobody noticed. When Josh Evans didn't speed or peel out? Remember the best two-strike hitter on the team? Remember Tamara and Dorothy's days of exploring? Remember FHA conventions and how we never made it to the workshop? Remember Donna Pinkston and Leah Reed beating Ryan Burns and J.R. McComas in 2-on-2? Don't ask Ryan and J.R., they'll deny it. Remember Come to My House? Remember all the push-ups in football practice? Remember plugging in before basketball games when we were sophomores? When Nikki and Megan started a water fight in the dressing room that turned into a barroom brawl? When Jennifer Price and Anna Jean Chance didn't fix their hair and put on makeup last hour? Remember the 15 people that caused Shannon Kirkgard to run Quentin Higgins off the road? Remember Cassie's truck getting egged at the car wash on Halloween? Remember Bob? Remember Tamara Shoemaker ever driving the speed limit? We don't either. When Diana was at school on Monday? When Miss Strunk wiped out on the cafeteria floor? When Mary only wore high-top tennis shoes, jeans, and Oxford shirts, and now it's boots, Rockies, and that cowboy hat? Remember Brett's scab eating habit? Remember only 8 seniors showing up for senior skip day? Remember Summer League basketball? When Coach Wade got mad and kicked the locker room door and it came back and hit him? When Jill got her pants pulled down in the lobby? Remember Shannon's flag dress? Remember Miss Flad and her skull? Remember weekly readers? Remember Coach Kizik ate chalk because he got a little mad at our class? When Mr. Hatcher covered the screen because the ducks were mating? Remember the spray paint on the school? Remember porcupines? Remember I's and T's behind the Circle K? And remember Slacko? Remember concurrent enrollment? Remember Fred and Margaret from concurrent enrollment? Remember TCB? Remember the fat lady and the Twinkie? Remember how everyone hated the hot Hondas? Remember how much they cared? Remember when Pat Halley, Brian Miller, and their buddies put bottles on top of the baseball scoreboard one night? Hey guys, did you wonder where they were the next day? Remember Jan sticking a slinky up her nose and couldn't get it out? Remember when Shannon and Jan's three-wheeler accident? Remember when Shannon Kierkegaard thought horses died for paper? Remember Jill's Wrangler tag collection? Remember Tisha's cement accident? When Mary smelled like apples? When Mr. Hatcher took Jan's whoopee cushion and cut it into shreds. When Travis wasn't saying quaff. Remember quaff, excuse me. Remember Kim Beach's hair. Remember Jan's dead tarantula that scared Mr. Hatcher. Remember when Cassie cried. Remember Mulligan Stew. Remember senior skip day at the river. Detention day at the school. Remember when we were 7th graders betting on Brian Miller's gender? Remember Pat's plaid? Remember when Shayla wiped out head first running turtle races in gym? Remember all the fires in ag? Remember when Travis didn't have an attitude problem? When we ate by candlelight? Remember the 360 time? When the whole girls basketball team egged Chad's new truck? Remember Mr. Dunn? Remember 5'6", I'm gonna give you kicks? When Brett and Brian got in the fight at the Ninnicall game and they were slapping and pulling hair? When Kathy crashed into Red Hill when there wasn't even ice on the road? When Shayla asked Carmina to get her a pincushion and she came back with a pair of scissors? When Dorothy fell 3 times after the junior-senior banquet? When Leah crawled through the classroom window in the 6th grade and every elementary teacher saw her do it? Remember when senior skip day was just for seniors? Remember our 7th grade class party when our favorite song was the new version of Lean On Me? Remember when Mary and Leah could agree on something? Remember when Nikki and Shayla got in a fist fight? I do. When Shannon Richardson seemed like a quiet girl? Remember Darius Wilson? Maybe not. Remember Megan Locke and Travis Bolton? Remember the camp out at Mary's? I don't think anybody could forget it. Remember winning districts in fast pitch softball? Remember taking notes in health and safety every day? Remember all the football games in the rain? Remember when Jan and Jill played basketball? Remember when Kathy Myers stowed a pocket 5 times in home ec just because it didn't look right? Remember when Mrs. Frisbee wasn't interested in everything about everybody? Remember when we had open campus? Remember when Nikki beat up Matt Jones? Remember when Nikki, Shayla, Bethany, and Leah played skins and shirts and they got caught? Remember when Nikki shut Gina Bassam up? Remember Mary and Floyd? Remember when Shayla went to play the field in softball with a batting helmet on? Remember when Mary laid in the middle of the road during recess when she first moved here? Remember how Leah and Megan were the ones who got in trouble for daring her to do it? Remember when Coach Gravely was telling the truth? Remember Drew's a.k.a. Howard the Duck, a.k.a. Elvis Cool Hairdo? Remember Coach Autry? Remember the water balloons at Pat's house before the Sorrel game? Remember Kung Fu Theater? Remember the Onco? Remember when Tamara, and Dorothy weren't tripping someone? Remember Henry? Remember when Shannon wasn't scrapping at Glenn? Remember when Clay wasn't afraid of Tamara and Dorothy doing something to his truck? Remember when Nikki rode on the front of Mary's car while Leah and Shayla rode on the back all the way into town? Remember when Carmina insisted in Panama they put soap in their rice? I think that's soup, Catalina. Remember when Lindsay was throwing up and she asked Nikki to get her a glass of water and Nikki came back with a half-eaten honey bun? Remember when Lindsay, Shayla, Nikki, Mary, Megan, and David Lindsay went to the Hardys at 2 a.m. and Megan's dad was waiting in David's driveway when they got back? Remember Lindsay's hair turned totally green from the chlorine in the pool at junior camp? Remember when Mrs. Frisbee had hair? Remember when the school got egged on Halloween? Ask Megan, Mary, and Shayla about it. Remember when Mrs. Clue was looking for the hot Hondas and found them all standing on the toilets in the girls' bathroom? Remember when Mike got lost going to Chickasha Lake? Remember when Mike left the battery to the jet ski in the garage charging? Remember on Halloween when Bob took our eggs away? Remember when Neil gave it back? Neil? Remember when Angie Starkey wanted some gum or candy? Remember Fire Marshal Bill? Remember Michael Henson throwing up in the 4th grade and Mrs. Simmons didn't know until all of us were dying from the smell? Remember the sweat and tears, the victories and defeats, the old friends and the new, the good times and the bad. But no matter where you go or what you do, remember the senior class of Minco High School, 1992.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. There's really no other time in all the graduation festivities, I don't think, for me to say just a little bit to these seniors. I really, in just a year, you get pretty close to people. When you've been here several years, you get closer and closer, and sometimes I think I may see these people in a different perspective than someone that's been here a long time. But I just want to tell them how much I appreciate them, what an outstanding year it's been. I always tell, of course, athletic teams, football teams in particular, that the type of season that you have is directly related to the type of seniors and senior leadership that you have. The very same thing is more so true and extremely true in the campus life and school life, the everyday life at the high school. It's directly related to the seniors. This senior class certainly has class. They distributed it in many ways this year and gave examples of it. I think they would probably tell you, as they think back now that their high school educational career is about done, that there's probably 3 phases to your coming to school. One of them starts out, it's the thing to do, it's something that you want to do. Probably most of you think back to kindergarten and 1st grade and you were excited about it and you came to school, it was fun, you enjoyed it. Somewhere along the way you found out that it was pretty hard work or that there were some problems involved with it, so school got to a situation where you had to come. You really weren't that crazy about it, but mom and dad said get up and go, you've got to go. And then later, and maybe about today, you find out that you go to school to get an education. And a lot of seniors find out today that they wish they'd have gotten just a little bit more. But that opportunity is still there, and I feel certain that you'll take advantage of it. So, again, I wish y'all would give these seniors a big round of applause there. As you classes come up, if you're not exactly sure how you should act and how you should perform with seniors, we'll remember these seniors of 92. They put a pretty good example of that. Let me make a few announcements here. In fact, several announcements. In fact, too many announcements, but if these apply to you, hear them, I hope. First of all, senior, and if I make a mistake, somebody should stand up and say, whoa. Senior practice at 1 o'clock Wednesday. Be there. VOTEC students, your last day is Wednesday. Semester tests, Tuesday and Wednesday. You'll either be in your semester test room or in the student lounge. If teachers let you out about the last 15 minutes, you can go to the Coke Lounge, relax in the cafeteria or in the student lounge. There is no open campus through semester test times. After we break out of here, there will be an FFA meeting, I assume, in the FFA room. Is that correct? Okay, right here. And Mr. Wade wants to meet with girls 7th grade to 11th grade, and we'll meet out in the student lounge. If you're an FFA girls, you need to stay here, though. There's enough room for everybody? Okay, well, we'll have all the girls meet over here. FFA people meet right here. Does that work? We'll see if that'll work. Spring football people need to meet at the field house at 3 o'clock. Graduation Thursday night at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, and also we have basketball. Leah, are you playing Saturday at Lindsay at what time? 1 o'clock. Leah will be playing in the All-Star game, and who? And Lindsay? No. Yes. No. Okay. Nikki, what about softball? That's okay. How'd you do? Did good. Okay, and then Saturday night, football players will play at, I believe, 8 o'clock at Lindsay. So if you don't have anything to do Saturday, go down to Lindsay. Okay, dismissed to meetings or 7th period. Thank you.
Go around. Go around now. Same way you come up. Oh, duck.
Sometimes, how are you today?
Hands up.